Welcome to Buckets and Bubbles.
Hello.
It's almost like it's the same. Almost like it's the same day, Mike.
Yeah, it's almost like I stopped recording. It feels like I stopped recording less than a minute ago.
It just feels like that, doesn't it?
The
It feels like
one.
that.
In homage to that
Feels
perfect
like that.
show where I was really miserable and talked bollocks for ages, and because I didn't really know what I was talking about, I've worn the same T-shirt again.
Well done.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Thanks.
Why is it called Buckets and Bubbles?
Oh, I ain't got a clue. It's called Buckets of Bubbles because there is buckets of enthusiasm to wash cars.
With bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. You need to work on that.
I know. I get to this point every week and go, I should have thought of something by now, when I just hadn't.
Yeah.
Busy me.
All right. Let's go on to this because I should, I suppose, be smug. I'm not. And I'll tell you why in a minute. However, let me deal with the social media first because that seems like what I do now. Leeds went for a no room for racism, and it was our military, Remembrance Day fixture closest to. So they went safe. They went with that, which was a nice touch. Stach did quite a nice one actually. I enjoyed Stach. He did himself as Thor. As you can see, he's got his hammer in his hand, and he went full on.
Hammer attack.
Correct.
Yeah.
So hats off to ChatGPT and his girlfriend.
Yeah. She must have downloaded that PDF that bloke keeps trying to sell me on Instagram of powerful prompts for ChatGPT, and I'm like, dude, you just type it in and it does it.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like that. Because the people who use it to do their job type like that.
What did you do? Let me just get that. You went quite safe. There was a little picture of the number 2 shorts. Who's your number 2?
Who's our number 2? I got a clue what our number 2 is. Might be.
It's Walker Peters. It's Walker Peters.
I was going to say Walker Peters, but I wasn't 100%, so that I'd check. You beat me to it.
It's the programme on top of his shorts, as you can see. And now, with your social media, you guys went for a picture of, I'm not sure who it is, to be honest, Friday Night Lights. We've got Bowen on there, and they cheekily went, obviously, at Somerville centre stage, as they would do. But I'm not quite sure what the background is. So it's under the lights, and he's sort of playing on a pitch of some kind. And there are what might well be white feathers because of the peacocks. I don't know. Or there's something on the floor there. And in the background, I can only imagine that they are supposed to be Leeds skylines. Don't know. Anyway, that's what they did. But it's very similar to what you always do with, your players silhouetted and all that sort of stuff. So that was a bit boring. What can we say about the game? The game actually was over at half-time, I think.
It was over at 15 minutes.
Yeah, we scored 2 goals pretty quick. A header from Rodon. Rodon scored 3 in 4 games now for Club and Country, so he's on a bit of a... Considering I don't think he'd scored a professional goal in his career before that. I'm sure he did, but not that many. Yeah, that's the one. What is it? So that is the...
Bridgewater Place, is that what it's called?
Bridgewater Place, that's what that is. But I don't know what the other is, unless it's Temple Newsham. Don't know. I think they're Leeds landmarks. Yeah, that looks...
That's Temple Newsham. That to the other side.
Might be the town hall, actually.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was that.
All looks a little generative. Generative? That's the word. Yeah.
Yeah. Good header. It was a good header, but I'll ask you about that in a minute. The first goal, I think, Okafor gets in front of his man.
Yeah,
it's a good cross. And keeper makes a good save, to be fair. And then for some reason, is it Walker Peters that is just stood, just allows Aronson to tap it in? Really weird. But and then the second half, he changed. I think Nuno changed it, and I thought you were a lot better. But I think the game had gone by then. But talk to me, because last game week you said that there was stats or there was something or other about not jumping. And there were some corners where, good God, I mean, we should have probably scored more. In first half, it could easily have been 4 or 5, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that that corner, Rodon pretty much unmarked, just heads it in.
Yeah, we are currently we are leading by a long way of goals conceded from corners.
Is it 9?
Something like that. Possibly 10 now. To say like I banged on a lot about our central defence last week, and it's exactly the same again this week. They are not. I don't want to say not good enough because we paid nearly 80 million quid for these players. They should be good enough.
He switched the fullbacks, didn't he?
Yeah, same again.
He switched them.
We had
the
same.
It was Wambas. I'm pretty sure it was Wan-Bissaka who was playing on the left-hand side next to Kilman because he was the one that just let Aronson. He just stood still.
Yeah, and like for the first goal, Skiles, his man beat him. Skiles is an academy product. This is his first season in first team football. He's going to make some mistakes. Like if we'd conceded that goal and then drawn or won the game, fair enough. That's an error where that player's learned something. When you leave a game where you've travelled 4 hours, a lot of those fans will have driven up 5-6 hours and we'll have a 5-6 hour journey back. Skiles made the error, and you'd like to think it wouldn't matter in this circumstances. It does, because that's the first goal, and that puts us straight on the back foot. And for us, I think especially in the first half, the first quarter, if you like, it killed our game absolutely, and led quite quickly. Like, how fast was that second goal? It weren't long, was it? The first goal was something like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then the second one 15. Yeah, so the first 15 minutes, game done.
What I will say though is that Farker gambled. So he said in his pre-match conference, pre-match conference that that there'd been illness in the camp and that there were injuries, and he said afterwards that, or he was asked afterwards, were you maybe not being honest about how much illness and injury there was, and he said yeah. He said, I wasn't being honest because basically we struggled to put a team out.
Yeah.
But I think what he did was he had players on the pitch, Okafor for a start, who was never going to play any more than 45 minutes. But he did, and I'm glad he did this, because there is a temptation maybe to do it the other way around, to start with Harrison and Aronson again, and then have Okafor on the bench and then give him 20 minutes towards the end of the game. But instead, I think what he did, probably rightly so, because of what you've just said about the team low on confidence, that there's a lot of mistakes being going on. They don't really know what they're doing at the back at the moment. It's been swapped around a little bit, and he's sort of gone, right, just get at them for 20 minutes. Go out there, get at them for 20 minutes. And it worked. We got 2 quick goals, and then we ran out of steam, basically. Second half, you could see they were on there. We were on our arses.
Yeah.
Loads of them were. I mean, Okafor obviously went off and the substitutes came on, etc. But even the substitutes coming on, half of them were injured.
Just finishing off Scar's story, I think, was it like 25 minutes he got injured? And we'd started off with his 3-4-3, the inverted wingers, all that stuff. That injury, I think, saved it a little bit for us. Like, we could have been we were lucky to lose 2-1. I think, given the onslaught. Onslaught feels like a big word, but judging West Ham, we could capitulate quite easily and lose by 5-6 goals. Yeah, started 3-4-3. Skiles getting injured brought Callum Wilson on. Now, going back to Brentford slightly, there was a rumour that we didn't start with Callum Wilson because we would have triggered one of his payments, because he's on like next to nothing, and then regarding how many goals and appearances he makes, he earns quite a lot. It's not because we're getting close to whatever FFP, whatever. It's because they're tight and they didn't want to pay Callum Wilson, and that cost us Brentford. So he comes on now, so he's not started, but he'll have earned some coin off this, and that forced us to change 4-4-2 essentially. We kind of dropped into, and I think that's where we started to play. Now the fault is always the fact that our defence is really bad and our sharp shooters at the top are not shooting sharply. So Callum Wilson, I rate Callum Wilson. I think he's a really good player. I think he's across his career has been an absolute prolific striker. I think he's easily been one of the best strikers of his generation. In a generation where you've got Harry Kane and people like that playing, I think Callum Wilson could quite happily stand shoulder to shoulder with a lot of those. Not, I'm not saying he's better than. I'm not saying he deserves more. I think he's done his bit. Do you know what I mean? And he's held account of his own talent really well.
Let's just quantify that for a minute.
Yeah.
So you're saying he stands shoulder to shoulder with who?
With some of the better strikers in the Premier League of his era. I'm not necessarily... I mean, the only one that came to my mind then was Harry Kane, and he's nowhere near Harry Kane. Really. And I hate to admit that, but Harry Kane is probably like the greatest striker of the last few decades. There's not many better than him.
Might have something to say about that.
Who?
Haaland.
Yeah. He might, but I mean, I think Harry Kane is... this is a different topic, but I think Harry Kane's better than Haaland. I think...
Okay, I mean, so far... Well, I think you're probably right so far.
I think when Haaland gets into the twilight of his career and can have... I mean, Kane hasn't won much. That's the thing. But his goal scoring ability and his goal record and his golden boots, you can't... And if Haaland gets to his age and has scored more, then I'll take my hat off and go, he were better. But at the moment, I think that's a lofty goal. Neither of who playing for Leeds or West Ham.
No, but Haaland could have done. He was born in Leeds.
Yes. He is a Yorkshire lad. So, Callum Wilson, come on. And he's yet to find his firing boots. I think probably because he's not started enough.
What was Nuno's plan going into this?
I don't know. It's another one of these. It's the same as Brentford. I think he's not sure who his team is, what his best 11 are. That system, that 3-4-3, means there's a lot of square pegs in round holes, as Gonzo likes to say on the other West Ham channel. So you've got Scarles coming in as an inverted winger. Diouf is an inverted winger. Souček and Irving again in centre midfield. Kilman.
Souček, I asked you this during the game. Souček had a right shiner.
Yeah.
What? Where's that from?
He's regularly one for getting in fights. I don't mean like, but he'll just stick his head on anything.
You don't mean like
old timey boxing. Yeah.
Old time fisticuffs.
Yeah. He's calling out Toddybo. I wish he would.
Right. I'll tell you what. There was some choice words on that pitch at times.
And this. So, I like Jared Bowen. I think he's very good. I think he's very good for the team. But
are we going to have a bit of a Jared Bowen bash here?
Slightly.
Cool.
So, I think he's brilliant. I love him. I think he's a fantastic ambassador for the club. I think he is a legend. He is, he's won Ham of the Year. He's won us a trophy. He will play for us, I think, until very close to until he retires. He's not a captain. He's just not. And I think there's something very...
Why not?
Because he's not one to be very... And there's an argument to say some captains do their best stuff where they lead by example. Harry Kane is one of those. He's not very... he always talks about, I like to lead by example. That's not a Harry Kane impression, because I'm not very good at impressions. Yeah. And I feel like it'd be quite mean. So he...
Probably would
yeah, because he talks funny. Kurt Zouma was never vocal on the pitch. I mean, there was a little bit, but he weren't like...
That's 2 match days in a row you've brought Kurt Zouma into.
I know.
What's he done to you?
I don't know why. I think somebody mentioned him the other day, and he's just... I can't stop thinking, I know he's knackered, but he's better than anything we've got in terms of defence. 100%. Even knackered Kurt Zouma I'd have over, Jean-Claire Todibo. Souček is a leader on the pitch. Aaron Creswell was a leader on the pitch. Vladimir Coufal was a leader on the pitch. And I've mentioned those specifically because they're gone. We've been fighting a battle since Lopetegui released all those players, Michail Antonio, Aaron Creswell, Vladimir Coufal, at the start of last season. We've made the captain Jared Bowen, who is a fine example of a professional footballer and a very, very talented one. But he's not a captain. And why that makes a difference is because there's that rule where you can only have your captain approach the referee.
Yeah, but that's nonsense. That is nonsense. That's not what's happening at all, and it certainly wasn't what happened in that game.
Well,
if that's the case, then Paquetá should have been sent off because he
almost
got that yellow
card,
and then spent a good 2 minutes. It was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, but there's been points in this season where goals have been, or decisions, I don't want to say goals, but decisions that have led to either us not being given the opportunity to take possession, take a free kick, whatever, penalty, throw in, whatever, have rested on the arguments from a captain to the referee. And there's been games where the opposition's captain has argued their point and they've got it. And you can see Jared Bowen quiet,
not vocal,
and he's not putting his team's point across. And I think, given the fact that our season has rested quite a lot on fractional decisions like that, I think that's something to be worried about. If we were just not in the bottom three, I don't think I would really. I'd be a bit like, yeah, it could do better. I don't think I'd be worried so much.
But I'm with you all the way, and I think we were texting during the match, and I said to you, if you get the next goal, especially at half time when we hadn't taken those other chances, typical Leeds, if you'd have got that goal earlier,
that disallowed goal. That's when I like last episode I was talking about Paquetá missing that 10%, and that's the 10% I mean is he finds himself offside a lot. Our problem is capitulating in defence. We've got a terrible defence, and we've got a forward line who on paper look like they should be as terrifying as Liverpool's or Man United's, or and they're just not doing it. Jared Bowen, I love Jared Bowen. That bicycle kick, what a whopper that would have been. Absolute, like you could see the force that went with, because who is it, Perry? Like that stop was instinctual, and he couldn't catch it. It was hitting with that much force. He just weren't able to do it. And I just half a yard the other side would have been in.
Anyway, absolutely, I agree.
And it's that tiny margins I think that we are just losing. And you'd kind of hope, like in the old days, St and Greavesy, you'd be like, oh, funny old game, it'll go the other way at some point. And you kind of hope that that'll happen, but
the problem is that the games just end up running out, don't they?
Yeah.
It's not my worry. So this is why I'm not particularly smug about it. I think it was important 3 points for us, obviously, because it puts us 7 points ahead of you. But my worry is that Burnley won. I mean, Sunderland was second.
Yeah.
But now that Burnley won. Burnley are now 6 points ahead of you. But I look at so the 3 promoted teams look competitive. I mean, Wolves look absolutely shot. I mean, they're But then you look at everybody else. I just don't think Nottingham Forest squad is too good. Your squad is too good. But the question is, and I guess this is the same with Notts Forest, because their owner is an absolute fruitcake. How long does Sean Dyche get before he's under?
Yeah.
It sounds mental because it's been one game, but they lost. Everybody else is picking up points. At what point do you sort of go, oh shit, actually? And I know we're not even 10 games yet, almost 10 games. But what point do you go, oh shit? Because I was looking at this. Is what I was going to ask you. I was looking at the next manager to get the sack. Pereira at Wolves. I think he's at odds on.
Yeah. Next
is Nuno, 5-1. After that, it's Daniel Farker, 8-1. Then Marcos Silva at 12-1. Arnie Slot is 12-1. At what point do your board, who you've said already, and I've heard lots of other West Ham fans say, just there's this petition going around, isn't there? That's got I heard a guy as well, 15,000 signatures on it, just saying it's not enough. Where's everybody else? Where's the rest of the fan base?
It's madness. I mean, one thing I will slightly cheer you up on is this morning when I watched Match of the Day, and there was a stat on there saying of promoted teams over the last, I don't know how long, it might have been decade, those who've got 11 points by game 10 usually stay up.
Yes, but I go back to my previous point. The teams below us, apart from Burnley, who's on, are not the newly promoted teams.
No.
That you look down, and I know you're struggling. I know that Wolves have probably been gurgling around the plug hole for quite a while. But Nottingham Forest, that's a good squad. Yours is a good squad. You've got good players. Fulham, good squad, good players. Do you know what I mean?
Good manager as well. Silva's a great manager.
Good manager as well. And if we were 15th with 11 points with Burnley and Sunderland down there, and I'd be a bit more sort of like, yeah, maybe. But at the moment, I'm just thinking, no, this is going to go to 40 points this season, I think.
Like we've got to even just draw 17th. We've got to have a draw and a win, at least, in the next 2 games. And that means Fulham are going to lose them both.
Yeah.
Just to claw out of the relegation zone.
Let's not dwell on it too much, because it's just depressing.
Yeah, final thing I'll say is I don't think it's not a manager issue. It's not a manager issue. It's a chop and change. We've sacked Cal McCauley.
Yeah.
We're about to just hire another one, and it's like, make your mind up, Mr. Sullivan, please.
Yeah.
Get out of the club.
Yeah. I mean, it's the one thing that keeps me mildly optimistic is that we're quite stable at the moment.
Yeah.
So, no chopping and changing going on. Wolves will probably sack that guy. Well, he's just got a new contract, so maybe they won't. Who knows? Give us a stinker.
The stinker is going to be... I'm going to say it's Harriola for that first goal.
Okay.
I just think if he'd have kept hold of that first and not... It wouldn't have come back. And...
I think it's harsh. That
it is harsh.
I think it was a decent header from.
I'm trying not to say Nuno again for his madness, and it was just. I remember watching that first goal and just thinking, "Oh, Ariola,
I know.
Yeah, I don't think he was genuinely.
I mean, both your fullbacks let the players just get in front of him. I mean, that was.
It was going to be the Nuno or Scales. I think it's harsh to be on Scales considering he lasted 25 minutes and he's so young.
Okay, fair enough.
So it's just
trying to protect him.
Yeah, from our 12 viewers.
Go for it, Ariola. Yeah. I mean,
yeah. What about you? What's yours?
So my stinker of the match is I think there was that debacle with Goodmanson that was injured and he was I don't know whether you saw it, but he was just walking off and Ampadu went, "What are you doing?" And he was going, "I'm going off because I need treatment." He was like, "What? No, just go down." And apparently the referee had told him to walk off.
Really?
So he was like, "But I haven't had treatment yet." He said, "No, you've had treatment, so you need to go off." It was. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
So that's my stinker. That whole moment was the stinker of the match for me.
Fair enough.
Can I give you a minute? Also, can I just say I admire your attempt at the Halloween decorations at the back.
With 2 little candle lights there.
Yeah,
totally drowned out by the
actual light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I've stuck on.
Right, go on.
Anyway, so
what's
my minute on?
Your minute's on why Jared Bowen will be sold in January.
Because he'll be worth at least 50 million quid, and we need about that to get rid of us to buy a decent defender. There you go, 10 seconds. Do you know what? I don't think he will, but obviously that's not the point of this minute. The minute is, if we sell him 2 seasons ago, we'd have maybe got 70. I think realistically we're looking at 45, 50 this winter, especially in January. That could get us a reasonably good late stage defender, somebody akin to Craig Dawson coming in age 28, something like that, and maybe a youngster, maybe
Creswell.
Yeah, someone like that would be stunning, and I think that's what we need. For the last few years, every transfer window, we've needed a defender, a midfielder and a striker. And no change, we need a midfielder, a defender and a striker.
So he might have to be sold to fund it.
Yep, fair enough.
Is that your minute?
Yep, done.
All right, good, great. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. We've needed a winger and a number 10 for about 12 years. And we still need a winger and a number 10.
Yeah.
In fact, to be fair, we needed a winger, a number 10 and a left back. But now we've got a left back, finally. So I reckon in another 8 years we might have a number 10.
Okay, so your minute is slightly outside of the Leeds remit, but
go on.
Why are Leeds... Well, it is in the Leeds remit. Why are Leeds going to finish above Sunderland?
I'll tell you why Leeds are going to finish above Sunderland. No problem at all. Because Sunderland started very well. Good luck to them. Fair enough. They have a lot of players going off for the Africa, whatever that is. AFCON. What's it called? AFCON, not Ofcom. No. That's what we'll be in trouble with. Apparently, this is what I'm told. So in come, and is it December, January time?
Yeah, I think they go exactly September and then they come back and then it's off again. Yeah,
and then they're in trouble. And a bit like us, really. Once they get my light's gone off. Once they lose a few of those players, I think they're going to be in big trouble. But at the moment, they sit fourth in the table, so good luck to them. But I think they're going to finish mid-table, around about 12th. We're going to finish 11th. That'll be done.
5 seconds to spare. There you go.
There you go. Don't need it.
Yeah. I said September. I think it's November. In November they go in this international break. They go, then come back, something and like then then they go again. We're the same. Wan-Bissaka's going to be out there, so yeah. I hope Kudus goes, and I hope he gets done for the rest of the season.
Yeah, fair enough. Shall we wrap it up there?
Yeah, you go get some tea.
Big games coming up, as we know.
Yeah.
I'll see you next week.
Don't forget, like and subscribe, all that jazz. Share it with your friends, as long as none of them know anything about football. Adios.
Bye.